Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 573. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Yo.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 573 of the Moviecast. And yes, I'm here. I was sorry about last week. That was the worst day of the week. Corey, I saw Corey on Sunday because we went and saw a movie, which we'll talk about shortly. But you wouldn't even know I had surgery. Like, I mean, look, cool, Ben. Look at this, Ben. Except for the scars. But I can bend my knee entirely now. But Tuesday was
Aaron
the
Rodgers
worst.
now? What the heck? We can see your feet, Jim? Jeez.
Tuesday was the worst day ever. It was the day after surgery, so I was like, I just felt like crap. Yeah, I
No, it's funny because like, you get the adrenaline going, so the day of is like fine, but then you get the day after when your body's like, wait, what just happened to me?
Yeah.
What did you do?
It hit about 3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, the early morning. It hit then, and then like all Tuesday was not fun. It was just like, oh God, what did I do to myself here? And then it was like Wednesday, then progressively better throughout the week, like to Sunday where you saw me, Corey. I can walk pretty much without a limp, unless I just stepped just a bit wrong, and then I'm like, oh nope, I still had surgery. But yeah. So anyways, welcome, guys. Sorry, I wasn't here last week, but I did listen to the podcast, and I will not apologize for putting Tom Holland's news on the podcast.
It's not news.
He literally said it.
I know he said it. It's not news. It's not news. It's not news.
I don't like. Look, did I believe it? No, but it was.
But
said,
you didn't even show up.
You didn't even show up. Oh my God! Yeah. No, I know.
We got egg on our face immediately.
No, it was unbelievable. Which is
I mean,
you know,
again, I think we were saying
No egg on our face.
Yeah, it's like nobody said, like, we're all saying there's no way he's doing it.
His words reached people who are just not even big, like just like casuals. They reached that because, like, you know, I had Amanda ask me, like, is he done after this movie? I heard he was done, and Matt my brother, thinking he's going to die in this next movie. Because he was saying that because he's like, oh, he's done. He said he was done. I'm like, okay, so it reached mass audience. His comments.
Yep.
So
no, there are people out there that believe it.
Yeah.
Which is.
I do think, though, it's interesting they said it at all because I think it might be insight that he thinks this should be a younger character.
I think that, and I agree with you, Mike. Like, I feel like Spider-Man's best work is college. I think that's where he hits his stride. Like the older Peter Parker.
That's the next arc. Like.
Yes, I can't wait.
I said this explicitly when they even.
Although I wonder almost if this was a hidden reference to Tobey Maguire with my back. You know, that whole because Tobey Maguire is the meme Spider-Man now, and one of them is the my back when he falls. So older Spider-Man with back pain.
I mean, 30, like you said, Mike, 30 is not like an astronomical number anymore.
No, yeah, but, you know, for someone in
he
their
also
mid-20s,
looks like he's a teenager still, so
yes, he stopped aging. If he wants to say it like 40, I get that. I get, like, if he's still playing by 40, it's time to move on at that point. But
he looks younger in his fourth movie now than Tobey did in his third movie, so.
Oh, definitely. Andrew Garfield too. I think he looks younger than Andrew Garfield. Looks pretty young, by the way. But Tom Holland looks like a kid still, which is why Nathan Drake. I just think it's a bad fit. I'm sorry, I don't like it. But
Andrew Garfield would be a better Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Anyways, like we said, guys, that I'll just include that here in the news that they had just announced, even though we're in the beginning of the podcast here, they announced. Yeah, not yesterday. Was it yesterday that they were going to continue the trilogy, a new trilogy with Tom Holland attached in the MCU? So that was what we were referencing when we said, well, it's already debunked, and you know, but it's good. You know, I mean, I'm happy he's back. I'm happy to see what the next 3.
Maybe they can bang them out within 4 years, and it'll be before he's 30.
Yeah,
there you go.
I think. You know, I'm actually happy to hear he's still in the MCU because that was the question I had. Remember the fight they had about the Spider-Man character? I'm happy to hear he's still part of the MCU. That's the big thing because I didn't know Sony was going to try to say, let's spin this off into our own thing. Now, you would think that they would have learned by now to work with Disney because of the marketing things. And I mean,
I think Venom threw a wrench in that too because Venom was so successful without any Marvel help. They're like, oh, we could do this on our own.
But I mean, was it successful compared to what we just did here? I mean, look what this movie pre-sales are doing on Spider-Man.
Insane. It's
No Way
insane.
Home. It's
insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like at 9:30 on whatever day it was, Monday or something. I was like,
Yeah.
let me just check the tickets because they went on sale at midnight.
All gone.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh shoot, it's freaking
Oh,
sold out, like almost everywhere. You can't
We
find
went and
like,
saw yeah, we went and saw Ghostbusters, and there was like a line in front of us, and like 2 people were trying to buy Spider-Man tickets then, and I'm like, what is happening
Yeah.
here? Is this really, you guys really,
What year
it's
is
that
it?
exciting?
What
Yeah,
year is it?
I was like, is this happening right now? But I mean, this is bigger pre-sale numbers than Endgame right now. That's it's
Is it?
unbelievable.
I thought it was
Yes.
just under Endgame, but it didn't
No,
have the full
I
24
just saw-
hours.
Endgame was obviously pre-COVID too, so
I just saw that the pre-sales are outpacing Endgame.
Okay,
just
all right,
was
maybe the
reading-
last 8 hours
yeah.
were different because it was
I
like a
could,
24 versus.
I would believe it too
No, I
because
would
like
believe it, absolutely.
people feel, hey, what? COVID's done, we are free, and
Yeah.
let's go to the theater. And
Yeah.
so like,
Spider-Man
this is
ended
the thing.
COVID, folks.
Yep.
I think I mean, Sony's got to be excited for this. The uncertainty of COVID going forward is not great, but I know that a lot of people are kind of like, "Fuck it, let's go."
I mean,
and
they got their
do something.
boosters. They feel like they're invincible.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, I got mine, and
Get the mix.
I'm ready. I'm ready to hit the theaters with no mask, and yeah. I mean, if it was that packed, the thing is like if it's that packed, as long as everybody's wearing a mask, I'm wearing a mask too. But I just don't think everybody's gonna wear a mask, and that's gonna be what's the point at that point?
I mean, see, this is sold out. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so we're gonna go see it the 20th. It's a Monday. By the time I got around to saying, "Hey guys, let's go see if we can find some tickets," it was booked through the weekend, and that's IMAX and Dolby Cinema. Dolby Cinema, forget it. Like even Monday is full by us, but IMAX at least had openings, which is cool because Corey, we saw the preview for this, and the entire trailer was in IMAX format, which the giant full screen.
Yeah.
It looks like they shot the entire movie in IMAX.
That's what I was asking. I was like, did they shoot this movie in IMAX? Because yeah, it was full, no black bars.
And I wouldn't be surprised, Corey, if they did. If they did, because the new IMAX agreement they have on Disney Plus, where they do the pseudo IMAX thing for your screens at home, which I loved on my 65. First thing I did was bring up Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. Is it Shang-Chi?
Oh.
Shang-Chi.
Yes.
Gotta say Shang. I brought that up on my screen in IMAX, and it looked beautiful.
Cool.
Like it's nice. But it's cool and it's exciting. We are going to have a box office to talk about. There's no question about that when this happens. Right now, I didn't even look at the numbers. I don't care. But we will definitely talk about that box office on December 21st is that podcast, just before Christmas. So I'm excited for that podcast quite a bit. And it's the day before The Matrix comes out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, back in the day, think about
man.
Yeah, think about like back in the day. Like let's say this was Matrix right after the Matrix movie. And so you had the sequel coming out for that, and you would have had Spider-Man. What would have happened there? Like what
Spider-Man.
kind of competition would have run into?
Pretty sure that happened about 2003 or so, right?
Maybe, but Matrix was
We had a
huge.
Spider-Man sequel and the Matrix sequels coming around then at the same time.
Yeah, that was the sequel, the Threes. I think that was the year of the Threes, which everything bombed. But all right,
Not financially, but yeah.
we got into some news, guys, before we did everything else. But it just flows, right? It just worked. We're a free-form podcast. We don't have to follow
A little bit. Yeah.
But let's get into what we've been up to, and I have to chime in because Corey, and by the way, I took a road trip from work today. I took a break because I was having such a rough day. I'm taking a road trip. I put our podcast on so I could catch up and make sure I understood what we talked about. Because Corey said, "Jim, did you listen to the podcast?" And I'm like, that flagged it. I'm like, I got to hear this. And besides Tony calling me out, but besides Tony calling me out, The Cowboy Bebop thing I have to watch, and I'm kind of guarded to watch it. I'm actually watching Arcane more now because I'm like, let me just finish Arcane because I was gonna watch Cowboy Bebop and I'm like, no, I have 5 more episodes of Arcane to watch still, and I heard you guys love that finale, so I'm gonna check that out. But the big thing I wanted to talk about was Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time is one of those shows where I'm like so conflicted because I like certain aspects and the fact that this show is on the air. I'm so happy to see something that I hope we don't get the Game of Thrones issue where they just want to end the show, because this is a very long-winded show long-winded book where these books are super huge, and the guy never, got, even when Sanderson took him over, like they were still big books. There's there's still a ton of content. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he gets to his point faster than Jordan, but I don't understand what the fuck these guys were doing in the beginning of this show. Like, why make the changes to the story? Like Perrin is a character that I loved in the books, and I'm just like, I don't understand the major change that happened with his character in the first episode. Like, I don't see the purpose of it. Like, I don't even, because I know where the character goes, and I'm like, I don't understand the purpose.
Reason for it.
You're
like,
starting
other than
him, you're almost starting him at the point he builds to. And I'm like, why? And then you're breaking him down to rebuild him to that level again? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Then Rand is Rand's the main character, and there are certain things with another character that I was like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, I don't understand his story with his. I understand what in the books there was like a love infatuation with Egwene, but it was never. Like, I guess full
consummated?
On. Yes, because there's some major parts in the book that are about that. I'm just like, this is like, that's a major part of the story. And I'm like, what? So Corey, like, I don't understand what this guy who is supposed to be a huge fan.
Yeah, super fan.
Books, like, I don't see the purpose of the additions. Like, it's like, I'm going to make a change because I'm going to make a fucking change.
No, it's like they took the skeleton of it and it's like, oh, we'll just use this to make our own show.
Like, did he lose editing rights? Did he lose editing control? Like, did somebody come into this and say, okay, I see your outline here. I'm just going to make this thing flow quick?
I mean, he's had interviews about it and stuff, and has said that he's changed it a lot because it's a television format instead of a book format.
Bullshit. No, the changes he made they're stupid. There's no reason for them. That being said, I do appreciate, like, a lot of the show. Moraine, I really do like. Land.
Did you watch the latest one, or did you?
No, I didn't. I only watched the first three. But I do really like those characters. I like the way the third one ended, and I like Moraine. Moraine's I think Moraine's a spot on character. The way you envisioned her in the book, I think they've got that nailed right. And Lan as well. Lan has so far been really well done. He's one of my favorite characters, obviously. These books are so great. And like Tony, I think I'm worried to say watch it because I'm worried about Game of Thrones effect, where it's like everything just fell apart. Yeah. But it is a really good story. It's a really good story, and the productions are pretty good on this. There's some parts where you're like, they
very
need
generic.
A little bit,
fantasy.
yes, they need a little bit bigger budget with this.
Hey, you got a drone over some cool scenic stuff, and the people like traveling.
So, second thing, just to keep moving forward, I want to stick us on this too long. Second thing to talk about, I want to say, guys, you have to please watch Masters of the Universe Revelations. It is one of my favorite shows I have seen. It is fantastic. It is like, it's better than He-Man and the Masters of the Universe as a kid. Like, it is, obviously it's for older crowds now, but it is an incredible show. Like, I said how much I understand the bait and switch opinions. Like, we talked about that a long time ago on the podcast. I understand the gripes. I don't care. Everybody should watch this show. Like, even fans people are not fans of He-Man, but like anime stuff, like that story, like those kind of things, owe it to himself to check this out. Like, it's such a great story, and the performances they got from the voice actors make you, like, I watched it and then immediately watched the after show because I'm like, that's how I got into it like crazy. Like, yeah, Mark Hamill's doing the Joker, but it works like so well with Skeletor. Like, it just fits. And it and they play with you so much, and it's emotional. It is impactful because it's more for adults. It's not like a kid's show. Like, there's no way you can have a kid watch this show with all the fighting and stabbing that go on. It's crazy. But it's so good, and the animation is fantastic, and I strongly recommend somebody else watch this on this podcast, please, so you can understand what I'm saying. Like, it is excellent, and it's only 11 episodes. So I think it's 11.
I watched the first half whenever it came out, so
yeah, and the second half is even better. And for the He-Man fans that tried to write this off because of it's a Tila show, Give it another shot.
Well, online fans are always shit boys, so whatever.
And I understood their gripes to a point, but I said let them. Let's watch let the second half, play out, and then make your decisions. And like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I watched this show. Like, it's fantastic. Like, I can't wait for more content. I want more, like, so badly.
Oh no, that's good to hear. So
yeah, and so excellent show. And then
to be fair, Jim, people did the same thing when Luke Skywalker got killed. So
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know. To this day, though, I said I really like Rian Johnson. I really think he's a great director. I think he's fantastic. And I still want to see his Star Wars. I just didn't want to see his Star Wars based on my characters that I loved. I want to see his own Star Wars. I've said that consistently, at least. Kevin Smith did a fantastic job, though. He did a great job, and this show has been well done. So the other thing that I know I'm dominating, but it's been 2 weeks. The next thing, the only thing I want to talk about after this is Ghostbusters, which Corey and I saw. We saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. Did anybody else? Tony, did you see that?
No, fuck no.
Okay. Again, I think we both can say. I mean, Corey, I've been talking long enough. You tell me what you thought of this. Go ahead, take it over.
No, I had no expectations for Ghostbusters. I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go see it. When was the last time we went out to a movie together?
Exactly.
So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we went, and I was like, no expectations. Like, oh, cool. Kind of get the idea of it, and then I was like, this is actually really fun. This movie's a fun film, and they're not doing like too much of the corny callbacks or anything like that. It was more tasteful, like Easter eggs, instead of just like throwing it in your face, like, oh, hey, guess what? We're a Ghostbusters movie. Remember Ghostbusters? Hey, guys. I mean, there is that in there, but it's not in your face where you just feel like, oh, what are they doing here? And the kids, they did a great job with the performances, and it's corny enough where it's still a Ghostbusters movie, but it's like kind of makes sense, and it reminds me like of how, like, this is how you do an extension. Like, not to say it's Cobra Kai worthy, but like when you want to take something that's like beloved from nostalgia and then build on it and make it its own thing, but also give
pay homage.
Yeah, pay homage to the past. They did that, and to me, they did that as well as Cobra Kai did with Karate Kid.
I would still say Cobra Kai has done a better job. But
No, I agree with that as well. But I'd say like I could not. Yeah, I cannot. I have no complaints as far as this being a sequel to the Ghostbusters movies. They nailed that in my opinion as far as what they did here, because like I mean, you have Ghostbusters 2 and you have the female Ghostbusters, and both of those are not as good of a movie as this one.
So wait, did they even reference the last Ghostbusters movie with the female cast? Or
no.
That does not exist in this universe.
They also didn't reference Ghostbusters 2 in this movie either. Like, it was basically like a true sequel.
They do, movie. But I mean,
it was a true sequel to the first movie, though. Like, it really had.
But there's hardly any references to 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's really well done. The campiness is still there because you need that with Ghostbusters. Don't get me wrong, but it was never over the top. They had enough of the old references for people who were big fans, but they brought in like it had that Stranger Things vibe again. I hate to say it, but the kids, with the kid there, that's his thing. He's great at that role, but he's great at that role. Like, that's like they've done a great job.
Fine. The one thing I would say that seemed a little off is like the girl that shows up, the love interest for the kid. She kind of just inserts herself into this, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But as far as everything else goes, I was very surprised. Like, it was one of my biggest surprises of the year, I would say. I mean, even with how I expected things from like Arcane that say like I thought that was going to be decent, and I hoped it would be good, and it met expectations and exceeded it. This I had no expectations. I thought it was going to be kind of crummy, and I was like, wow, this is actually a pretty good movie. So good on them.
I fully expected it to be screwed up. Like, I really expected,
especially the direct. The other thing I thought was really well done was the story of the kids with the parent and the relationship with them, and the relationship with the grandfather and the daughter. I thought they did that well. I kind of felt like it was a little on the nose as far as maybe how he grew up. I don't know, but they did a good job there too. So
yeah. So I liked it a lot. So all right, Corey, anything else you want to talk about? Watched?
Yeah, oh, I watched that obviously. I also watched Red Notice on Netflix, and I don't know if you guys saw
I
that.
saw that. Yeah.
And I was like, whoa,
What is that?
like, what? This is a terrible movie. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I
I'll
didn't
be
like
seeing
it.
it soon. I'll be seeing it
What
soon.
is
Rob,
that?
so.
It's
With
crap.
Ryan Reynolds and The Rock.
And
I mean, look,
Wonder Woman.
it's trash. I'm not gonna like pretend it's not trash. If you like Ryan Johnson and you like The Rock, you know
Ryan-
what they
yeah.
what
Ryan
they're playing
Reynolds.
themselves.
Ryan
Or, sorry,
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I'm sorry,
Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
like them and when they're playing themselves in any number of their movies that they have played themselves, and you want to see a movie where they're like playing this like good cop, bad cop, thief thing, like
No,
You
I
would
wouldn't
be
even
a-
recommend it, Tony.
I'm not
even
recommending. I'm not
that.
recommending. I'm saying if you like these particular actors playing themselves, like if
I
you're
like
fans of them,
when they play themselves,
I like
and this
that
was
too.
still a crap movie. Like that's the thing. Is I was shocked at how much I did not like this movie because like how can you go wrong with these
Yeah.
these people,
Again, it
these
sounds like a
actors?
home run. It sounds like a home run.
Like you
But
could you
even
could
the
literally
premise- even
like
the premise
not fail. And according to Netflix, they didn't fail. This is like the biggest movie that they've put
Well,
out.
it's got the Rock in it, and he draws
Yeah,
anyway.
but
And Ryan
like-
Reynolds is a hot name.
My God, like
I've seen worse movies. I've seen plenty of worse movies.
well, no, there's definitely worse movies out there. I'm not gonna argue that. Like even on Netflix, you know. But just like when you put these people together, you expect. Again, expectations here. Expectations. I expected a
Probably
decent
expected-
movie.
I did not. So maybe that's what it was. I was like,
Okay,
yeah, it's probably
I was
gonna
like,
be
you
bad.
know, this looks cool. It's like a caper mystery kind of film. Like I could get behind this. And then some of the twists that come in, you're like, dude, are they? It's like, are they gonna do it? Please don't do it. And then they do it, and you're like, God damn, why would you do this?
No.
This is so bad. And then, like, I don't feel anything for these characters. I don't feel like, oh, I'm like, first this guy's the bad guy, then this guy's the bad guy, and this guy's the bad guy, and then this guy's the good guy, but he's the bad guy, and then like, but they get screwed over, and then you're like, well, who cares? I don't care that this is happening. And so
Sounds like
it was
The
just.
Walking Dead.
It was just
Does
not
sound like
worth.
that.
It's not worth your time.
Alright.
But what else I watched was we talked about last week. Tony, you had finished, and I got to watch the rest of was Cowboy Bebop, and I thought it was a good take on the show in the live action. I think they did everything they could do as far as making it live action. I enjoyed my time with it. I definitely see there's like definitely cringe moments as far as some of the dialogue goes, but I didn't mind it as much. It seemed like that's the characters that they were going for. What I was,
Go ahead. I was gonna say I have a question for you when you're done. I have a question. Go
yeah, and what I was like they're just moving so fast through everything. That's the only thing. I was like, everything's going so quickly, and there's storylines that, like, you know, throughout the anime you get a little more time to, I guess, simmer.
It's not the-
Here,
it's not
it's just
the
kind
whole-
of.
It's not like a one shot thing, is it? I thought they're not gonna do more seasons. This is it.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know how it. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet, but my question was like, is it something that deserved to exist? I guess, like, you know what I mean? Like
I think
you
we're
know,
talking
okay,
about this way too much. We're what?
Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, no.
We just got on Cowboy Bebop.
Sorry. I got distracted for a second. I thought we were talking about Red
We
Notice.
thought
I
we
was
were in
like,
Red-
I
No,
thought
no,
it
no,
deserved to be like talking.
No,
I was like,
we moved-
why are we
we
talking
moved
about
on
this
from Red
stuff?
Notice.
Sorry, Cowboy
No,
Bebop. Brain fart.
Cowboy
I
Bebop.
gotta read
Is it
text.
something? Is it something that deserves?
I think we're
like-
talking about it too much.
No, yeah, I know, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a great anime. Did it need to be made into a live action? Like, Kenshin did a pretty good job. Like, they did a great job with it. Like,
I don't know if
and it was worth them
deserved
doing
to be
it.
made,
Is
but
this-
I mean, the thing
this-
is, you know, like you bring everything else to live action. So I mean, why not?
I guess,
You know?
I guess.
mean, we've had
Yeah,
decades and decades of comic book stuff being brought to
Mm-hmm.
live action with varying degrees of
The
success.
difference there, Tony, I'd say, is comic books are books that aren't motion. You know, like you had the anime, and the anime is by far like way superior to this. But it's not bad. I'd
No,
say
I
it's worth
understand that,
watching.
but I'm saying, like, how many anime have been turned into live action? Like a dozen, 2 dozen, max.
Yeah.
Over what?
Eh,
10
there's
years?
a lot more than like you'd think.
Really?
There's a lot of those Hong Kong ones that are kind of
Okay, excluding those. Excluding
I'm
those.
just saying, like Initial D was pretty bad.
Excluding those. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's something where they're going to have to learn. They're going to have to get better at it. And I'd rather have them try than not try. Like, I could easily be like, all right, whatever, fuck this. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to support it, and be like, oh, well, whatever.
Like, so they pulled it off then.
Yeah.
They did a good job. Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I
I
said,
guess
it
that's what I was
just
trying to
goes,
get to.
it just sips through a lot of the storylines that I felt, and like Tony mentioned last week, Vicious is just so bad.
I heard. I can't wait to see this. Like, I'm
Every
actually
time
looking
he's on
forward to
screen, I
how
just want to
bad it
like
looks.
fast forward. So.
I didn't see it yet, but I heard your comments on that. I'm like,
And the last thing, real quick, I just want to mention, I watched the Hawkeye Show, and I've been enjoying that. It's very good so far.
Tony,
that's the only
Mike.
thing I've watched. The first
cool.
2 episodes of Hawkeye.
Okay, I haven't gotten to see that yet. So what'd you think, Mike? Like,
It's okay.
Christmas show?
It's very by the numbers so far, but it's good. It's definitely Christmas themed if you want that.
I really want
for
that.
this
That's
time.
perfect right now. Yeah,
For this time
perfect.
of year. I hope it does something a little more unexpected going forward. After the first, I know there's only like 4 episodes left, 6 episodes, and we got 2 right to start. But it's good. It's just it feels familiar so far.
Is it a bad thing though?
I mean, it's not like familiar to even those characters, I guess, from what we've seen, but it's just everything is like, oh, this is about what I expected when I heard that this was a thing. So here we are.
Okay.
We'll see.
Right.
Hopefully it makes it a little more exciting going forward.
I should be catching up on that this week. So, Look, Tony, did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched it. It's good so far. What's her name? Kate Bishop. I think is going to be a great addition to the MCU after this is all said and done. And what's her name? Haley Steinfeld. She's hitting it out of the park right now in terms of what she's doing. I called it. I called it with that Bumblebee movie a couple years ago. So, right? She was in that, right? Yes.
She was in that? Yeah. So just even the voice work she's doing, I mentioned like last time, like Spider-Gwen.
That's what
Arcane.
I'm trying to think of what she's been.
She's in Arcane too. She's by.
Okay. I've seen her name like everywhere, so I'm like, okay, that's why.
Yeah. So, it's good. Nothing remarkable or outstanding to comment on yet, but again, it's just pretty much the premise and setting up the foundation for her character, and what happened to Hawkeye since Endgame.
Yeah. No. I think that I like the fact that they're expanding on this character a little more. Because we got Black Widow expansion and stuff. We got Wanda. So it's nice to kind of expand on this guy a little bit, just because kind of gets.
Yeah. That's what the Disney Plus is doing. It's like expand.
And I like Kate Bishop as a character. It's really cool. So excited to see more.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. What else you been seeing? What?
Nothing. There's something. It's a little spoilery for the end of the 2nd episode, but again, I think I'm missing something because I don't know if the characters too much. There's a character that I'm wondering if I'm supposed to know who they are.
Well, I mean, it's the show's going to play out the way it plays out.
Well, I know, but
I mean, it's like they want the both ends. They want people that be like, "Hey, this is that character," and they want people to be like, "Oh, that's cool."
Sure, but I missed out back with Mandalorian because I didn't recognize the guy as the guy who played.
I don't think there's anybody
Django
that we
or whatever.
should be knowing at this point.
Okay.
There's nobody that I was like, ooh, that's like somebody. I could be wrong, but I didn't see anybody like that. But no, that's it. Just spread notice and Hawkeye for me. So.
All right. We don't really have a lot of news this week because of the Thanksgiving week, so there wasn't much going on. So that's pretty much it. I will say that I also saw the very bland Free Guy.
I like Free Guy. I thought that was way better than Red.
Okay. First of all, it's just bland. I wouldn't say there's nothing spectacular about the movie. I just thought it was fine. Like, I don't think it was like. I don't think it's bad. Again, it's Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it was fine. I didn't think it was anything great. I'm sorry. I just didn't think it was great.
No, I mean, that's fine. It's a fine movie. I agree with that. I wouldn't say it's a great movie. I think it's a decent movie.
Whoa,
right.
I didn't say that.
Huh?
It's like, whoa, I didn't say it was a great movie.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not. There's no way it's a great film. But
I wouldn't go with good. I would
just
go with. I would go with fine. Like, that's fine with me. I'm not. I think it's bland. It was generic Ryan Reynolds movie that I thought was It was fine. It's where I'll go with it. But
There it is.
Sounds like you
Ryan
didn't like
Reynolds is
no,
crap.
no. I don't want to say I didn't like it. I just don't.
If you had to be a Rotten Tomato, would you say yes or no?
55.
No, you dumbass. To be one of the tomatoes.
Oh, would I give it fresh or no? I'd probably give it fresh. But
Whoa.
my comments.
Except the word you described it as is
Isn't
bland.
55 less than fresh? Don't you have to be like 60 to be fresh or something?
I thought over 50 was fresh.
60.
So you'll be on the positive.
I could be wrong.
You'll be on the positive review
I
side,
guess-
but the caption
I'll
will
be-
read bland.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like it deserves to be, fresh.
It's
but-
all it's supposed to do is, would you recommend somebody watch this movie? That's it. Yes or no. That's it.
Yeah, it's fine. There's
So there
nothing
you
wrong
go.
with
It's
it.
yes.
Like,
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
avoid it. Yeah.
It's
There
not
it is.
rotten. There you go.
All right. There it is. All right. Let's go.
Don't know why we gotta bring this up.
Ryan Reynolds is not rotten. There we are.
There you
Ryan,
go.
yeah,
Title of the
Ryan-
podcast
Ryan,
right there.
Ryan Reynolds is fresh. Yes, minty fresh.
All right. That's right.
All right, let's go wrap it up. Let's see, 573 in the books, guys, for the movie cast. Thanks for tuning in and watching us. I hope you're watching this on Twitch. We're on there, guys. Check us out. We can see this live. Join us with the Gamecast as well. We have those going on. We're on YouTube. I do the uploads the day after, so you can watch Twitch the night we do it. Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock we start. This night was a little later, but just wait for us. We'll be there. So we seem to always come through and have a podcast. So check that out. You can write us like geek@gmail.com. You can leave us comments on any of our media that we're in. And we'll see you guys next week. I have to kick Craig out of here. Sorry. I haven't done that yet. We're done.